from Casa del Falcon. Made a little bit of a judgment error today. I was going to do it at the Phoenix and then realized Crystal Palace and Arsenal were playing there, and it was going to end right before the show. But I've kind of become friends with the Crystal Palace folks, and I know they hang around. So it would probably not have been great. So we're going to do this. We're going to do this from home, which means Kira's here, and she's already made a couple of appearances on the pre-show. But hopefully, I've got her favorite treat, cheese puffs. By the way, sponsor is Cheese Puffs, and so hopefully that'll keep her occupied. So a couple things today before we get started. Thanks to everybody who's been supporting the show. If you want to advertise, email me at thefalconcast@yahoo.com. Had a couple people reach out this week. We're really close to being able to add that third day. Or if you just want to support the show, email me that way, and I'll tell you how you can do it. But had an interesting day, and first off, the guests are going to be Joe Spano here in just a minute. Eva Elliott, who was here a couple weeks ago and made everybody laugh, is going to be back. We're going to talk about our fundraising event on Saturday. This is the week. Pretty fired up about it. So she's going to join me later. But in the interim, I have two things. And it starts with, okay, first off, I did get a new hairdo for you guys. Just for the... I had to go and spend 2 hours today. I don't know how women do it, but I spent 2 hours at the place today to, get my hair done so I can show it off for Dr. Linville when he pops on earlier. And the other thing is, and maybe this is wrong of me, and maybe it's just normal. I don't know. Is it wrong that I judge Uber drivers based on their music? And because I get some of the weirdest music when because I take Uber a lot because I don't have a car right now. I don't really need one. And it was today was a lot of religious music in both cars, and I was kind of like, okay, that's cool, but I'm getting that about 8 out of 10 trips now, and so I'm glad you're with God. That's good. I'm not a religious person. I'm a very spiritual person, but I don't. Religious music doesn't do much for me. Not even religious rock. I don't know if you guys remember Stryper, but ugh. But anyway, so yeah, I'm just curious if that makes me a bad person that I'm judging. I'm still tipping them the same, and I'm still giving them 5 stars. But there are a couple that just like blast stuff really loud, and that's where I got to give them a 4-star because ask me if it's okay if you play the music loud. It probably will be, but let me make that decision. I'm a guest in your home, so yeah, if you want to play your music, cool. But don't blast me, especially when the speaker's right behind my head. Golly, man. Anyway, we got a lot of great stuff for you today. Joe Spano will be joining me very shortly. First, I'm going to tell you about the Phoenix on Westheimer, where I was going to be today. I was there Saturday. Went by for a little bit to finalize where we're putting the bands and how we're going to set it up, and it's going to be a really, really cool setup. And if you guys can make it out, I'll also have like an area roped off for VIPs. So I don't know how many we can fit in there, but you're welcome to try to get in there if you come and you're definitely a member of the Falconcast crew. They have great food over there, great staff. Boo is fantastic. He owns the place, and it's not bar food. And I took a friend there, and she just loved it. She loved the food. She loved everything, and just raving about it, just like I do, without knowing that, hey, this is one of my big sponsors and one of my best friends. And we had a great time there. Like I said, the staff, Camilla and Derek and Bailey and all those guys are just so cool. And they're going to make sure you're taken care of. And it is, listen, I'm becoming a soccer fan. I'm not going to lie. And it's the best soccer bar in the city. And that's why I'm not there today because of Crystal Palace and Arsenal. But it's a fantastic place. It's on Westheimer. It's easy to find. And it's been there for a while. And Vu's done a great job. And of course, about the fundraiser coming up Saturday. Had our last practice for that yesterday with Dead Money, and this is going to be maybe one of the most badass sets that we've done. So, and we'll be on at 8. There's my buddy DJ Rising will be on at 5. There's a mariachi band at 6. Jesse Salinas at 7. We've got all kinds of other cool stuff too. So come on out and get your picture taken with famous people. That money will go to help Daniel. And my friend Lewis, who's an elite chef, has offered to put up for bid for him to come to your house, make you a 5-course meal, bring some excellent wine, and you can bid on that. And I'm telling you, it is worth every penny, and all that money is going to go to Daniel, who you've heard me talk about. He, was in a car accident, paralyzed from the waist down, single parent. So we're trying to raise money for him, and that will be Saturday night. Please be there. You will have a good time. If you don't, then you hate puppies and you hate America. All right, let's bring in Joe Spano, my good friend. What's going on, Joseph?
Not too much. That's a great way to start. Well, you hate puppies and you hate America. Well, if that can't get people to take action, I don't know what will, Fred.
Yeah, me either. But hey, I mean, it's going to be such a cool event, and I'm looking forward because I'm looking forward to it just because after our practice yesterday, I'm like, man, this is you have that moment like when we practiced the first time, I was like, oh yeah, we'll be fine. We could have played tonight, but then after yesterday, I'm like, man, this is spot on. We even added another song, so yeah. The good news is because we're not doing it at the new place, we're doing it at the Phoenix. We can go over 9 o'clock. So we
Beautiful.
decided, yeah, we're gonna. So we beefed the setup a little bit, and the guys I'm playing with are just so talented. It's gonna be a badass, and got two other singers, both ladies who are very good. So they killed it yesterday, and we shall proceed. So let's get started with a little NFL action, if you don't mind, sir.
Not at all, man. Let's talk NFL. It's right around the corner.
Yeah, I mean, we're really close enough now where you get this third preseason game that doesn't really mean a lot. One of the things that I thought was interesting was D'Amico Ryans canceled his scheduled practices with the Saints for this week because his team's beat up. And I kind of wonder about that. How, how much of that is too much? Because they did it all week last week and then played the Dolphins. And now you were going to come back and do it again. I really don't know if that's a good idea to do it more than once.
I got to agree with you, Fred. No other coach around the NFL is doing two sets of those joint practices. They're doing one. Every other team around the league's doing one. And, let's be honest. I get where D'Amico was trying to go. He's trying to get a little bit of an edge and have his team more ready than everybody else from the standpoint of today's NFL player doesn't hit, doesn't work, and doesn't do enough of anything in training camp and in the exhibition season to actually be ready for week one. If you notice how sloppy the play is these days in week one, week two, week three, I guess the thought process for D'Amico was, hey, if I get a second set of these dual practices before leading up to the exhibition game, maybe my team will knock off more rust and it'll be sharper and more connected in the competition, and I could steal some wins early. But if your team's beat up, you can't do it, number one. Nobody else is doing it. So I guess, and everybody studies everything. I guess they're finding this more measured approach gets their teams to the start of the season healthier. And if you notice, we haven't had a lot of major injuries this training camp. Most every team is going to start the season mostly healthy, unless they're nursing guys back that were injured maybe at the end of, during last season, like torn ACLs and some late injuries. But for the most part, outside of the Dolphins losing Jalen Ramsey, there's not a lot of teams that are going to be missing key pieces, week one of the NFL season. So that's a good sign. They'll be rusty, but they'll be there.
Yeah, and usually we have 5 or 6 of those, right? It's fairly common. And I also think it's interesting that the Jets are going to trot Aaron Rodgers out to start that last preseason game. I don't know that that's necessary, but maybe they want him to just get some first team reps.
Yeah, it's knock off rust. It's get some live connection with these skill position players. The problem for the Jets here, and this is something that they should really be worried about, because if you look at the Jets roster, in my mind, there's really not much that could derail a very strong season except for their tackle play. They've got the worst set of offensive tackles in the league. They can't block you and me now, and that's a problem. quarterback's older, and a pair of bookend tackles, neither of whom you can trust, and both are going to need help. Well, that's a formula for disaster with a 40-year-old quarterback, and it's really the kind of thing that can derail an entire season where all the skill position players, you have all the skill position players in the world in place to win now. You have a defense that's already ready to win now and was a playoff caliber defense last year. Coach is solid. You didn't effectively address tackle, and you got a major, major problem. So to bring him out there in a meaningless, week 3 of the exhibition season game where the opposition isn't going to start anybody that's going to play meaningful minutes in this season, guys trying to make the back of the roster who are going to be playing really hard. This could be a recipe for disaster for Aaron Rodgers, for the sake of getting a series or two with the starting unit. Because if you look at any team with veteran quarterbacks, Fred, how many series do those number one quarterbacks get out there in the exhibition season? 2 series the entire exhibition season. The starting running backs don't even play. So you got shaky situation to tackle like that. Maybe just skip Aaron Rodgers going out there and just trot him out there week 1 healthy.
I guess the flip side I would make to that is at least those crappy tackles are going up against third stringers.
Yeah, and that's about the hope, but it's a problem.
Yeah, maybe that gives them a little confidence going into the season. But and I know it's always, Captain Pope asked, do you believe they got a memo from the Shield to play Rodgers in the last preseason game for Hard Knocks? I don't think so. But I think who complains about this the most when the starters don't play is the media, because they've got to write about or talk about, third and fourth string guys who are going to be driving milk trucks. And, they want to see CJ Stroud. They want to see all these cats and, try to come up with some judgment on them. But the reality is, even playing a half, you can't judge these guys on preseason. And I think it's just, again, it's just part of the whole media thing that I always complain about, that people are creating stories, right? Because there's nothing to talk about other than somebody getting hurt or somebody getting suspended. And so they want to see those guys out there. And it's so bad with these TV crews, especially. Because I think we got kind of a hybrid crew on NFL Network with a Houston guy and a Miami guy. And, it's all Indy Kalu was a Houston guy. He's great, by the way. He did a fantastic job. He's one of the few guys that will just say, yeah, this guy won't be playing here. But they don't want that, right? They want you to sit there and watch those whole games and try to take something out of them. And there's just nothing to take out of most of these.
No, there's not. The way they've scaled down the exhibition season now, week 1, week 1 back in the day when they had 4, the starters used to play a series. Then week 2, or maybe they wouldn't play at all. Week 2, maybe they'd play a series. Week 3 used to be a dress rehearsal for a half.
Right.
And then sometimes you'd even have the starters go to halftime like they normally would in the regular season. They play the first series of the second half. Then you wouldn't see them again, and they wouldn't play the fourth game. Now it's really just about getting them to week 1 healthy. The starters don't play at all in week 1. They get the quarterback gets if he has a good series, is done after 1 series in week 2. If he has a bad series, he gets a second series. Then you get a series with the backup quarterback with most of the starters. And then by the middle of the second quarter, you don't see anybody you recognize anymore outside of maybe some rookie trench guys that they're trying to get some experience for and guys in position battles. They've really changed it to where we don't want these guys. We want to control everything. We want to get everybody healthy, and we'll do most of the heavy lifting in joint practices where we can control the narrative better.
All right, I want to welcome in a few people here. B. Hannon's here. King of All Witches is here. BC in Houston. We mentioned Captain Pope. Listen, if you guys are on Facebook, go ahead and comment. I will read those after the show. I'm still trying to work on a way to get those comments to pop in here with the Twitch comments. But so, feel free to comment, and I will get back on there after the show and look at those. But if you want to comment live in real time, the best way is Twitch. Poor Marine's here. Hal Dab. Let's see, who have I missed? Flimsy Cherry. Chuck D, as always, is here. And yeah, I think that's Andrew Lanham is here, who I'll be talking about him in a little bit. So yeah, good crew out there on Twitch. So get in and just put your comments on there. Right now, I can tell you about Pick Me Events. They will be there on Saturday night, and what Michael will have is a professional photo booth where you can get photos taken with our famous people, and the money will go go for Daniel. So there'll be a lot of people there you might want to take your photo with. And the great thing about Pick Me Events, they do all kinds of stuff. They're great at weddings. So if you're getting married, then hit them up because they don't just do photo booths, right? They got photography, they have videography, they got DJs, they got all kinds of stuff to make your event special. They can do it for a corporate event. They can do it for your golf tournament. And they want it to be something you remember. And not just from the images, but from a personal standpoint. These are life events, and these are the kind of things that they are good at. Go to pickmeevents.com or come out Saturday night and talk to Michael in person while you're getting your photo taken with somebody famous, like, maybe one of our attractive singers, not me. Or, we've also got some great people there that I'm hoping to get to come out and help out. John McClain's coming. He'll take some photos with you. Now he's going to be there early because he's got to leave at 6. So you want to get there, but definitely the music starts at 5 o'clock. But if you want to get John, you better do it before 6 o'clock, and he'll be happy to do it. So please come check it out. Pick Me Events. All right, I want to play a little game with you here.
Sure.
And I'm just going to pick a few teams out, right? Because of course everybody's doing their preseason NFL power rankings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And ESPN does theirs, so I'm going to do theirs. But I'll just give you the top 5, and I'm going to throw some other names out there and say too high, too low. Okay. Chiefs are 1, Eagles 2, shocker, Bengals 3, 49ers 4, which I think they're too high, and Bills 5. So, any team there that you have a strong opinion about, too high or too low?
1, 2, 3 are spot on. I got no arguments there. And if Burrow's healthy, I'm in love with Cincinnati. Outside of losing their 2 safeties, they bring back just about everybody. I think they're going to be really good. The top 2 speak for themselves. San Francisco, what I like about them, they got that nice weak division, good seeding. It's number 5 that worries me. I haven't liked the Bills all that much. There's some rumblings and some wrangle and a lot of concern in Buffalo. Things just don't look quite right. From the Diggs drama to everything else, something just doesn't look quite right in Buffalo. So I could see them taking a little bit of a slide this year with the improvement the Jets have made. And again, as long as those tackles hold up, they're going to be just fine. Miami's, I could see taking a step up, and New England, just by the fact that Matt Patricia is not going to be the offensive coordinator and Joe Judge won't have any involvement in play calling there, they're going to take a step up. So I'll look for of those top 5, the Bills would be the ones I could see taking a step back and I'd be worried about.
See, I could see some erosion from the 49ers, and not so much from a player standpoint, but from a coaching standpoint. You keep losing quality coaches year after year, and on the offensive side, it's not a big deal because that's still Shanahan, but you lost Robert Saleh. You've lost D'Amico Ryans. At some point, that's going to erode your defense. There's no question. And I also am not sure about the whole quarterback situation. Brock Purdy was a cute little story last year, but that doesn't mean he can play. And it also tells me Trey Lance is a bum if Brock Purdy's going to be out there. So I'm a little concerned about that team being a little bit too high. Some of the others here, Dolphins are 6, Cowboys 7, Ravens 8. I think they're a little low. Chargers 9, Lions 10. A lot of love for the Lions. The team that a lot of people here care about that is 19th on the list for the Saints. That feels low to me. I don't think they should be behind Cleveland at 18. Your thoughts on the Saints?
Somebody's got to win that division. I think they probably are the best team in that division. And with that being the case, it's an awful division. So, by the fact that they're going to play, they've got an easy ride, bad division. They win 10 games just because of who their opposition is many times, and kind of sneak into the playoffs. So I'm with you there. Much the way the Giants did last year. The Giants weren't a particularly good team, and they weren't particularly talented, but they had a very easy schedule, were well coached, found a way to steal some games. And when you look at them from a power ranking standpoint, they put up a pretty decent number. They're a much better team this year. They're going to win less games because of a tougher schedule. So I could see that kind of effect with New Orleans this year. Not a great team, easy schedule, playing an awful division. And I think you're spot on right there. I think they're going to be better than people expect.
Well, I think, and BC and I have talked about this a lot, and he brought it up. I mean, they're going to have the best quarterback in the division, at least at the start of the year. Derek Carr is better than everybody else in that division. And, if Michael Thomas is back and healthy, if that offense will be just fine. They're very good on defense. I think they're a little bit of a sleeper here. I really do. And the other team, you mentioned the Giants. I just think you look at them last year, coaching made all the difference. Man, same players and a healthy Saquon Barkley, and that team was much better. And I think they still have some things they need to fill, but I could see them being back in the race this year. The team that everybody else wants to talk about, everybody always wants to talk about the Cowboys and where they fit. And right now on these rankings, the Cowboys are sitting at number. Hold on, please. They're still. These things are so long to scroll on the ESPN side. They're number 7, right behind Miami, right ahead of Baltimore. And of course, we mentioned Buffalo at 5. Is that too low, too high, or just right?
That's a little high for the Cowboys for me. There's some holes there. I think they're pretty good. I just think that 7's a touch high for me, if you would ask me. That touch high there. Yeah, they're a touch high there, and for a few reasons. There's just holes.
A couple more.
Yeah, sure.
Ravens at 8. I kind of think, and maybe I'm always too high on Raven stock, but I think maybe they should be higher than this. And I'll let you go on for about 20 seconds while I run off screen for just a sec.
You got it, Fred. As far as the Ravens, I'm inclined to agree with you because I've always been a Lamar Jackson fan. I thought he was the best quarterback in his draft class when he came out and fell in my mind, falling right to the end of the first round. When the Ravens got him, I said they got one of the steals of the draft here. So I love Baltimore. John Harbaugh could flat out coach, and when they're not beset by injuries, they're always near the top of the league. They're not beset by injuries this year thus far. I know that there's some drama in Baltimore with Lamar, but I think in his case, the drama motivates him. It's talented. Coaching staff is proven. They're proven winners. I'm with you here. Here's a spot where I don't disagree with you again. The Ravens, when healthy, are always a true contender. So I could see you could push them up a little bit. I'd agree with you there.
One that I'm kind of curious about, Washington. I don't have a great feel for them. 25.
They could be lower. Outside of their defensive line and Terry McLaurin and a decent stable of running backs, there's just not much there. What's there? It's a bad offensive line, an unproven quarterback. In a much better division, they're far and away the 4th best team in that division. The NFC East is going to get a tougher schedule. I could make a case that they could be lower than that.
And finally, Houston Texans, number 31. Fair?
No, I think they should be a little higher. And it's funny. It may not bear fruit in wins and losses because there's a lot of young players there. But they have picked up a lot of talent in the last 6 months. A lot of talent. A lot of high profile, great pedigree talent. It's young. It may not translate into wins this year. We all believe they're going to be well coached. They're better than the second worst team in the National Football League. Whether it necessarily shows up in the record or not, that remains to be seen. But they've got a good stable of running backs led by Pierce. They improved the receivers. They've got the young quarterback. The offensive line is going to be improved. There's improved pieces all over the field. And I think they will cover very, very well on the back end this year. I like their corners an awful lot in a league where corners are real valuable. It's a weak division. The Texans are going to surprise some people, and I think it will show up in some wins. I think they're going to be a pleasant surprise this year.
Yeah, I think 6 is a viable number, but Arizona's 32nd. But I look at the teams ahead of them. Tampa, I don't know what the hell Tampa is. They still have some good players on defense, but who knows, right? I mean,
can't win if you can't score.
Yeah, and the Colts at 29 are a mess, and it's going to take a while for Richardson to be a player. And then they got the Falcons at 28. I think the Falcons could be better than that or worse. I don't know, but some of the others here. All right, we're going to get some baseball, but first have a little bit of an announcement. I will be doing some freelance gigs that hopefully you guys will be interested in. One of them is with a new company that Sean Salisbury's starting, and it's sports fans. And what we're going to do is during Texans games, I'll be doing Texans. And if you remember, we had that Astros girl on a couple weeks ago. She was actually doing the beta testing by doing Astros games for this, so she's a part of it. But yeah, so I'm gonna be doing Texans games, and you can expect me to be basically doing MST3K or Beavis and Butthead, and making every inappropriate comment possible, and just having fun with it. So I'll be doing that, and then there'll be a once a week Texans pod as well, and then I will also, starting first week of the NFL season, our friends Christelle, Dalton Brown, all those guys at Betting Predators. I'll be doing a Tuesday morning kind of wrap up column, like the equivalent of Monday morning quarterback with a gambling slant. Only it'll be Tuesday morning hangover or something like that. I don't know, but it'll be every Tuesday morning on Betting Predators. So I was kind of getting bored and I needed more stuff to do. Podcast is doing great, keeps growing, but all this stuff hopefully will bring people to the podcast and build this up quite a bit. All right, let's get to some baseball because not a good weekend for the Astros or the Rangers for that matter. It didn't matter because the Mariners just came in here and punked them. Not that means a whole lot right now, but we are getting close to the point of the season where you don't want to be getting swept at home, and especially in a tight playoff race.
I can't disagree with you there, but I think the first thing you said is the most important part of this. Astros have been down this road before. Come back and talk to me in October. I mean, it's great. I get it. It's great. Seattle's white hot, and they're at a point where they can really have an impact on that division and playoff seeding and everything else, and that's great. But 3 games in a vacuum where they dominate the Astros, so what? So what?
Yeah, the thing is, and the only reason I wouldn't say concern, but just to kind of keep your eyes on it. I mean, if the Astros aren't going to win the division, this wild card race is really tight right now. And
yes,
Seattle just got a half game behind them, and that's where you start looking at, okay, you don't want to miss the playoffs. I know what you can do when you get there, but you don't want to mess around and not get there.
And ideally, you'd win that division because your road's better. And I get all that. It allows you to set up your starting pitching and have a more rested bullpen going forward. All that. I get that. I'm just looking more in a vacuum because I hear a lot of people crowing. Well, Seattle's 8-2 against the Astros this year. They own them this year after that tough playoff series. All right, they own them from April to September. That's great and terrific. Talk to me in October. But where the losses are important and where every loss going forward, or every win for that matter, is going to be important is, as you say, making sure you're in October, number one, and number two, seeding and positioning so you can set your bullpen up and set up your rotation. But I don't worry too much about a given loss in a given situation because nobody owns the Astros in October. They win when it counts.
Yeah, and as Captain Pope and Flimsy Cherry bring up, though, the Red Sox, 7 of the next 10 for the Astros against the Red Sox, who are playing very, very well.
Yeah, tonight's going to be a tough one. I mean, they're getting James Paxton tonight. He's pitched really, really well lately. This if you look at a game in a vacuum, I think this could be an uphill one for the Astros tonight.
Yeah, it'll be very, very interesting. But all right, that's Joe Spano. Joins me quite often on this show and is always welcome here. And I appreciate you taking the time. I do want to get to a couple things here, but I just want to thank you for coming on again. And good stuff as always, brother.
My pleasure, Freddie. We'll do it again soon, man. I look forward to it.
Sounds good, man.
Bye-bye.
I do need to tell you now about the my friend BC in Houston, who's on here. He's doing the Dirty Birdie tournament coming up in September 23rd. It's a great tournament. Hopefully, my neck is enough where I can play. Battleground Golf Course charity event. I've done this the last couple of years. It's an absolute blast. We all get drunk and play golf. And Battleground Golf Course, September 22nd, 2023. And Brandon, see if you can post that flyer in the Twitch if it'll let you do it. But if not, he just tweeted it out. So, all right. I'm bringing on one of my other favorite people in the world. When he's not traveling the world, he comes on with us. What's up, Dr. Linville?
What's up? I think the thing that's what's up is your hair, man.
Yeah, I was talking about this at the top of the show. 2 hours today to get, because I got the concert Saturday night. I'm gonna, I wanted a new look for it. 2 hours to get them to style my hair today.
Yeah, it's all right.
But you know what? It looks good. I'm really stoked.
It's worth it.
Yeah, I don't know where I got it. Oh wait, that was you. But yeah, I thought for the concert Saturday night, I wanted to kind of come out with a little different look. So I darkened it just a little bit, and had her do some different stuff with it, and it's going to look pretty good. And, it's fun because I couldn't have done this 3 years ago. It would have been, and it's funny. My brother was always the one, "Oh, just shave your head, because he's bald." It's like, just give it up. Like, no.
Does he look good? Does he look good bald?
He looks good bald. I don't.
Yeah. See, that's what every bald guy, I feel like wants everybody else to be bald.
Yeah, I look like a fractured penis when I'm bald. I mean, just forget it.
I have like the squarest head on the planet, so I would just look like a freak, bald. But guys that are bald that look good, it's all it's great for them. But it looks good, man. Yeah, you even got comments on your feed there. So
yeah, and although it was funny, my usual stylist wasn't there, so I got this woman who barely spoke English, and I was like, "Yeah, I want black." It's like, "Black no good for you. Black no good for you." And I'm like, "No. I've done it before. This is my best look. I want black. No, hair too light." It's like, "Yeah, it's light now. That's the point." They're like, I'm arguing with her, but like, just give me fucking black, okay?
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm happy with it. Looks really good.
Way to stick to your guns. It looks good.
Yeah. So, but tell people how you did this, and you've had it done a couple times now. And,
I've done it myself. I've done it myself. I mean, I think when you came in, you had a little, it was a little receded in the back or thinned out, and you were kind of like peaking up here, So we did a full session, kind of brought that across, and I think that's like what you can really see now that your hair's dark is actually. It's a really good hairline that looks appropriate for you. And then, we filled in the back. So I think we need to touch it up, but right now it looks it looks pretty damn thick. So I think we're
Yeah,
doing pretty good. I
yeah. I still
think,
got
yeah,
I still got that little spot on the back we need to fix, but that
yeah,
otherwise I'm 1,000% happy with it. But there was no way we were going to
yeah,
be able to do the whole thing, and that's what I hope people realize is like where I was. I mean, and at some point, if you go back on the timeline from his Twitter, you'll see those before photos. I mean, I
yeah,
looked like
that's right.
I had like these strips here, and that was it. And I really was thinking, okay, it's time to go bald. And then I met the doc, and we did it, and I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I'm not ready to be bald. So,
No, 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 no. Looks too good to be bald now.
yeah, and guys, I'll just tell you some people are embarrassed to go do it, and I've had people email me and say, "Hey, I don't want people to know I'm doing this. How can I do that?" Like, well, plan a vacation and go do it, and then go on vacation for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But don't. But there's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's like somebody's, was asking me, "Well, why do you dye your hair?" Well, women dye their hair all the time. I mean, I want the best look for me.
Yeah. It's kind of funny how guys, how the whole societal thing towards guys is, we're not supposed to be able to take care of ourselves or, go get your hair done for 2 hours or, feel good about ourselves. We're just supposed to like work and die, you know? So I hear that all the time. And I definitely hear it from guys, and it is a little tough because we don't get a lot of sympathy at work or wherever. So it takes about 3 days so you can kind of get back to work. Unless you're Fred, you just go back to work like 30 minutes later.
Blood all over my
Yeah.
head.
It takes about 3 days to kind of like be over it, where you're not trying to swell. And then I like to try to keep pressure off, especially where the grafts are going in here. Um, for at least a couple weeks so you don't traumatize them. But I agree with you. It's guys have a hard time because there's just not a lot of sympathy, and then we're trained like from at birth to like not feel okay taking care of ourselves. So
Yeah.
that's something we got to fight. It's totally fine if you want to have hair, and it's an easy procedure. I've done it 3 times to myself. It looks natural. Yours looks good. I don't have any guys running around there that regret it, and it's an easy procedure. You don't go to sleep, hang out in the office, watch a movie, and get your hair done for real.
Yeah, and I always tell people it's like going to the dentist. You just get it numbed, and they take care of the process. $4 a graft, and I know. Listen, guys, even if you got great hair, but you got a couple spots that you want patched up, he could do that too.
Yeah, yeah. I have a lot of guys that even they might be a little younger that just kind of come up a little bit. So we'll bring that across. And I think the biggest thing I do with my patients is I don't overcharge them, and I don't like oversell the graft number. Like I could tell everybody it's 1,000 grafts, but they only need 500, right? I'm only going to do 500. I'd rather,
Right.
I want them to come back. I want them to be happy. Yeah. And I'm not trying to burn the grafts by putting them places we don't need it. So
Yeah, because those are valuable. And when you first talked to me about this, it's like the hair on the back of your head always grows, and so it was still fairly early on, but man, all this is growing just like it does on the back still.
yeah,
So,
that's right.
I don't know the science behind that because that's you, but that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. That's the best part, that the hairs over here, they maintain their memory. So, it maintains its memory. So the hair here, when you move it up here, it still acts just like it would be on the side. So that's the cool part.
Well, guys, and obviously, Dr. Kane is a good friend. He's also a handsome. I'm not embarrassed to say that in a very non-threatening way, but he did the work though to stay that way, and you guys can do that too. We don't have to just give in
Yeah.
and say, yeah, you know what, that's enough. I'll just shave my head, and honestly, you feel better about yourself. Even just today, going and getting rid of my homeless look, uh, I feel better, and yeah, it was
Yeah.
funny.
You look awesome, man. You look great. You should feel good.
Yeah, I do.
I think us and myself and all your viewers recognize you look damn good. So that's the way you
Well,
should be.
we had our last practice for the charity event Saturday night yesterday, and it just went unbelievably well. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna look the part. And so first thing I did was make the appointment. But
Sweet.
and Listen, guys, I'll also tell you, and we have a lot of female listeners too. He does all kinds of work. I mean, he's as good as they come in this city, and I have a lot of friends who are sending their wives and significant others to you now. So you can do
I
that too.
appreciate it.
And not just hair. I mean, hair is the big thing, but if you want to get lipo or something like that to make yourself look better, Dr. King can do all that. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get him to do some more stuff for me here pretty soon. It's
Yeah.
just and I'm not. I mean, don't be embarrassed by it, man. Make yourself better and go see. Because look at him. Look at this guy. You want to be that handsome? Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. All right. So hairspecialisthouston.com is the site to go to. We will get you a landing page. I actually have an idea finally.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Get Falcon hair. Make it.
That's why I
Yeah.
think is the best one too. Get
Yeah,
Falcon
yeah.
hair, right? It's catchy, it's easy. That's
Yeah.
totally the one we should do. All right, I'll tell the girls.
All right.
Next week we'll have actually in like 2 days we'll have getfalconhair.com up and then it's so easy to remember. Everybody can jump on there.
Yeah, exactly. And
But
but if you can make it out Saturday night, I'm sure the people would love to have some photos taken with you for charity. So
okay, I'll do my best.
I'll text you the details later.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks for coming on, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. Have a good one, man.
You too.
See ya.
All right. I love that guy. He's so cool. The next person I love for a very different reason because she's funny as AF, I guess you say. And our good buddy Eva Elliott is here, comedian, starting her own production. She's just she was here with us a couple weeks ago. She is emceeing the event on Saturday, and it's going to be fun. What's going on, man?
Hi. Just got finished work and I had to text you a minute ago. I thought I was going to be late, but I made it right on time. But once again, I'm in my car studio here because my office situation at the last minute fell apart. But here I am. I'm here. Yay.
Well, we're happy to have you as always. And it's funny because usually I always go over a little bit with Kane because he's a busy man, and we wind up dropping a few personal things in there. It's, hey, what have you been doing on this? But we're making fun of my hair. I figured this would be a perfect day for you to make fun of it.
Yeah, I'm seeing this, and my phone just decided to go into. Did you lose me? Shit.
No, you're here.
Okay, I'm on my phone, and I'm gonna have to turn it where it doesn't go into a screensaver mode.
Okay.
Ah, hell, I don't know how to do that. I'll just keep my hand on it periodically. That's what I'll do. Sorry, I don't mean to be technical.
I mean,
there I am. Hi.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you were there the whole time, and you were talking about keeping your hand on it. I hope there's nobody in there with you.
It's just me, Fred. It's just me. So, okay, I'm seeing the hair here. What's going on? You got some hair did, huh?
Yeah. So, like, I got it shaved down on the sides here, and just kind of kept the top there. And yes, I might have added a little paint to it.
Hey, listen, I understand. Looking good, babe. Looking good. I understand. I have to color my hair.
If I with this hair and the performance I'm going to put on Saturday night, if I can't get laid after that, you guys are going to have to geld me. It's that simple.
Oh, Fred, we all know it doesn't take you much to get laid. I mean, if there's another person involved, that might take some effort. But
yeah, that's what I was referring to. Oh man, so what kind of shows you got coming up this week? I know you're bouncing around everywhere.
Yeah, you know me, I'm a bouncy girl. I get paid extra for that.
Well, not like I was getting bounced around in the Uber like a Thai hooker at a frat party. This is more of a just bouncing around and actually doing work.
It's always a Thai hooker in a frat party situation with me. See, always every Tuesday night we've got the show at Rock Newton's. In fact, this week I just got my promo out on it earlier today. I've got Stacey Anderson, Eric Oneacre, and Jody Summers are features. Plus, we have some other folks coming in as guests. So that's always fun. We always right on Tuesdays at Rock Newton's. But this week is also a big week for me because not just am I emceeing your event, but that's probably going to be the highlight of my week is to introduce this head of hair to the stage. But I'm also going to be at City Orchard Friday night for the A Few Bad Apples. I think that's what it's called, A Few Bad Apples show. So they got a comedy show they do there that's hosted by Clemente Javier, and he's fantastic. So, and I will probably be at Natsuo Wednesday. Didn't think I was going to be able to do it. I thought because the city of Houston is screwing up their water. Or no, that's one of the other venues has got water problems. Is it Secret Group has got water problems?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's, I don't know, I'm confused. Anyway, but so I'll be doing the show at Natsuo probably on Wednesday night as well. So lots of things going on. You can't keep a bad girl down.
Yeah, I'm hoping to come see you Friday night, but like I was telling you, it's like the day before I do a show. That's when I'm nervous.
Oh no, you're just gonna be vomiting and drunk.
Yeah, well, both. I mean, but the odd part is usually it's not because I don't. Yeah, I'll quote the line from Kingpin. I don't throw up when I drink. I throw up when I don't. But this, no, for some reason, and it's just a weird thing. Like the day before a show, I start thinking all the worst things that could happen. Like I'm forgetting lyrics and stuff like that, or missing a key. And I'm just, it makes me nervous as fuck. But then the day of the show, I kind of start like, all right,
you're fine.
Yeah, because like especially after practice yesterday, I'm like, I don't even want to listen to music until then, right? Because we nailed it so bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we even added a new song like a week before the show. That's how good it went. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And but the day of the show, I'll be fine. And I'll get a little nervous right before. But when that first note hits, it's just like when you get up and tell your first joke. It's all gone.
Oh, yeah.
It's all gone. You just get up there and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't worry if you mess up.
Except for the occasions when I do shit the stage. There are times when I shit the stage. So. I bomb sometimes. I still do.
I can't imagine that's very often.
It's not very often anymore, but it still happens. And I don't always, not every set's my best set. I mean, I never come off the stage and every time go, I killed. I mean, I'm pretty self-aware and know that some shows are, well, that was okay. I did fine. And sometimes it's, I tried something new and that was not my best material, but that's okay. It's part of the process. And I don't feel bad about myself when I don't have a great show. I mean, I feel bad for the audience that I didn't deliver the way I wanted to, but even even surgeons have patients die sometimes. So
just not hair surgeons.
Just not hair surgeons, not hair surgeons.
Yeah. But no, it's funny, and I can vouch for this 100% because I'll text Eva sometimes and say how'd the show go tonight, and she'll like, wasn't my best, or she'll tell me she killed it, and so self-awareness is so important in this, and you guys who come out Saturday, you're in for a treat because
it's gonna be a great show.
Yeah, and I'm so happy to have Eva there, and the rest of the bands are going to be great, but this is also, and it's a great cause, but this is a chance for us to, this could be the best Dead Money show yet. I'll just say that, just based on yesterday.
It's going to be it's going to be a good party. That's what it is. It's not just a show, it's a party. The whole thing, there's going to be so much going on out there. If people aren't having a good time, come talk to me. Come say, hey, Eva, I'm not having a good time. So we're going to fucking fix that. We're going to make sure you have a good time.
Go get your picture taken with her too.
Yeah. Yes, definitely come take a picture with me. I'm super photogenic.
Yeah. Somebody asking, was there's a little cleavage there? Is that intentional? Yeah, that's what she does. She'll show cleavage for you.
I know my brand.
But
tits and ass.
Yeah. So the cool thing, and we have that, and that's going to be cool. We also have a memorabilia thing, and so Eva's going to be telling you all about all this stuff throughout the night. The other day, a friend of mine who is a master chef offered to, we're going to auction off him coming to your house and making you a 5-course meal and bringing high quality wine for you. And
oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to auction that off too. So Eva will be pushing that, and then we're going to auction off 15.
I've done auctions before.
Yeah, and we're gonna auction off 15 minutes on the Falconcast, and you could talk anything. You could talk soccer, you could talk NASCAR, you could talk midget strippers, whatever the hell you want, we'll do it.
You can talk Eva's tits.
We can talk about it. Well, I hate to break it to you, we already talked about that though. But if you want to do 15 minutes on Eva's tits, I'm sure she would be happy to pop on with
But
us.
that sentence sounded really bad, Fred, the way you put that. If you want to do 15 minutes on Eva's tits, what are we talking about being done here?
Yeah, that might be. I don't know if that's technically legal. Now that I think about it, I think there's a word for that.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. I think this is not working anymore.
Oh yeah, and of course the guys are playing along with it. Virginia Buttonweed, I wouldn't last 15. King of all witches has evastits.com. Oh.
Yeah, they're delightful. I told somebody the other day, I said, I have to warn you about my tits if you ever see them. And they're like, what? And I said, they're really great. And then you're going to have a hard time seeing any other tits ever again.
Great.
Well, and you were talking about, you're talking about Dr. Linville earlier. And look, there's nothing wrong with a little help. Mine are natural. Well, there's nothing artificial in them, but I had them lifted when I lost a lot of weight a few years ago. Because otherwise it was like someone had dropped tangerines into a pair of pantyhose. Nobody wanted to see that. So I put them back up where they're supposed to be. And so look, every day's Mardi Gras when you got pretty titties.
Well, yeah, and when you got those granny titties now, that's a little different. When those things start getting to your belly button.
Yeah.
Dr. Linville
don't have that anymore. Exactly. So, like there's no shame in my game right there. So, yeah. I don't know this hair though, Fred. I feel like I'm talking to a different man here. Look at this youngster I'm talking to.
Yeah, I'm a fine young Southern gentleman, ma'am.
Jesus, not the accent again. Oh my God, Fred and the accent. It's too much, Fred. Too much.
All right, fine. I'll go back to East Texas.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I was thinking about you and the drinking and how, and I realized though that Fred, that you can keep drinking like you do because you understand the rules of being a functional alcoholic versus just, somebody who just drinks. You're not alcoholic, you're a functional alcoholic, right?
Oh yeah, it's funny, and I don't mind talking about this stuff with the people. They all know me. We've all hung out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talk about it enough.
No, but I've actually cut back a lot. Like yesterday, we had our practice. And see, okay, this is another one. Before our practice, I had a little bit of vodka and just enough weed to be really balanced. But I have to be very careful because if I go over on one, then I suck.
Yeah.
But if I get them right, and I'm actually like, the music's like flowing through my body when I've got just a little high in me, and so like, and I mean, we did the whole song list, but when we did "I Am the Highway" yesterday, which I always kill, it was fucking transcendent, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's awesome. I gotta replicate that Saturday, and it was just because, But no, like even yesterday, after that, we went over to Doghouse with Lauren and Dana, who are my other singers, and I just wanted to buy them around for thanking them for working hard and sounding good, and but after a shot and a vodka, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I got to go home right now. Yeah, that's it. Shot clock has gone off. Now I can have some when I get home, but
like Fred, you don't start. Yeah, you don't wake up and start drinking for the most part.
Not anymore.
That's the thing about
not anymore.
Yeah,
I did.
Well, okay, well then maybe you were a little bit off the deep end for a minute. But yeah, I mean the thing I was thinking about is like we know if you just can't start drinking before noon. Then you just drink all the alcohol. If you were going to start at 8, you just at noon you just start catch up drinking.
Right.
Unless it's brunch, then that's one of the exceptions.
Yeah, that's an exception. Or Vegas.
Or unless you're on vacation, you can start drinking early on vacation.
Yeah. And Captain.
If you're unemployed, for the first week of unemployment, you get to drink excessively.
Do I count as unemployed?
No, but you were after that other thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
When you're camping, you can drink it. You can start drinking early when you're camping.
Okay, my ex would never let me do that when we were camping. In fact,
she never let you drink early when you were camping? Well, no wonder she's your ex.
I drank it. That's why she's my ex, but she'd get pissed off. So
yeah. No, you're supposed to drink. That's what you're supposed to do when you go camping is you wake up and you start drinking.
Yeah.
That's what I think that's what camping is in Latin, right?
I
think so.
I don't know. It's Mandarin. I think it's Mandarin. I'm not sure.
That sounds much more accurate. Well, the other one is like if you go on vacation or if you're at the beach, like if you go to the beach at 10 in the morning, you don't have to wait until noon to start drinking.
Right.
If you're anywhere near water, if you've seen water recently,
Is that not tap water though, right? Because that's too easy.
I don't know. Some days tap water may qualify. What I'm getting here is I'm working on excuses so that I never get declared an alcoholic.
Oh, embrace it. Welcome to the club. Fuck those 12-step programs, man. We got our 1-step program. You know, just fucking drink.
1 step. Pour it in the it's a lot easier.
Oh.
You apologize to your drink a lot. I don't mean to shit on 12-step programs. I've got people in my life who've gone through that, and that's great for them.
Yeah.
So,
but do you? You know, you got to do you, and if that's going to make them better.
I do me a lot too. So.
Okay. I got some extra toys, but no. I mean, the truth is, I'm not a harmful alcoholic, right? Like,
no.
I am.
I was just messing with you.
I mean, and I don't know. I mean, I don't like definitions anyway as an existentialist, which is also a definition. So, you know, it's kind of ironic. It's kind of like when I'm doing Rage Against the Machine. Hey, everybody sing this last verse with me, and the last verse is "fuck you, I won't do what you tell me," and yet they sing along with it. If you ever think about that,
that's good irony. I like that. I like it.
But you know,
good time.
But the camping that we did wasn't really camping, man. We had a friggin' RV that was through the roof, so it was like having a hotel room at a campsite.
Oh no, no, that's carrying your own toilet around. I mean, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I have had an RV before, and they're a lot of fun. And there's a lot of campgrounds now that you can't go to without an RV that have really good, like they have concerts and all sorts of fun that you can't do. So it's kind of like that's your ticket to entry. And now these RVs are so fucking bougie. You know, people have got their fancy, like they've got TVs on the outside next to their outside grill and all this other stuff. That's not camping. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's just that's glamping.
Right.
I don't know. It just feels a little bougie. I still camp in a tent on it. I do sleep on an air mattress. But I still tent camp. I was camping at the river. What was that, in June? When it was like 105 degrees outside. Like just at night, you just lay very still. If you lay very still, eventually you'll be cooled off.
So your tits must put you to sleep if you're laying on your back, right? Is that how that works?
They just suffocate me. They just cut off all the air.
Yeah, well,
I just let them.
Well, the good news is I lost the RV in the divorce, so I'm no longer a douche. So there's that.
Oh, well, there you go. See, so yeah, we're so proud for you. We love that for you.
Great, yeah, yeah. Broken living by himself with a fucking dog. Thank you. So.
Hey, but at least you're not married anymore. Congratulations for that.
That is a plus. That is very much a plus. But yeah. So,
you know what though, Fred? Eventually you'll get remarried and you'll figure it out someday. We have hope that maybe by like your 9th or 10th wedding, you'll figure it out.
Oh, now the challenge is my mom got married 4 times, right?
Oh, okay.
I'm at 3.5, so I want to win.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be anytime soon.
You're not gonna let her be the record holder.
Yeah,
huh?
Yeah, that's exactly. So tell people.
Well, baby, let's auction you off at the show. We can put you up on the stage and start auctioning you off to the highest bidder. You know, get you a new girlfriend that way.
No, because
you don't like this.
You know who's gonna outbid everybody? Like some 85-year-old great grandma. With
look, she may be hot. Look, you can buy lube. That's a good time.
No, she'll have those belly button tits, and her skin's falling off.
She could have them lifted.
I'd break her.
I'm getting mine lifted.
I'd break her hip.
I'm gonna get mine lifted. I'm sorry.
I don't want to break somebody's hip. That's what would happen. I'd snap that hip.
You might break your own, friend.
I'd snap both of those hips. All right, so hey, tell the people kind of what you're going to do at the show and how you're going to. I mean, I know you've done this a lot, but
sure,
just kind of give them an idea about what throw a few jokes in and but keep things going. But tell them what you do.
Well, we're gonna just have it. Make sure it's a good time. Keep the energy up, and keep everybody on schedule. Make sure everybody knows where to go, what's going on. That way, no one's there going, well, where do I get pictures? Where do I go get memorabilia? Where do I get to go talk to Fred? I'm gonna make sure everybody knows what's up, where to be, how to have a good time, how to make the best out of being there. And really just keep everybody informed. Make sure we're having fun. Keep the energy up. That's my job in those kind of settings. It's not really necessarily for me to be the funny one, unless, I'll throw some funny in if it keeps the vibe up. But my job is just to make sure it's, good energy, and everybody's doing what they need to do and where they need to be, and we're on schedule, um, and just a fun time. And we're raising money. I mean, that's, keep everybody focused on that we have a cause there, we have a reason there, we're there, and that we're raising money for something. But even things like this can still be a joyful, when we're raising money for a tough situation, we can still have joyfulness and a good time, and everybody can have lots of fun. So that's the game plan, man.
Oh, everybody's praising you on the Twitch, by the way. So, yeah,
Are they?
yeah.
Am I famous now?
Well, I'd say, guys, I'd like to have her on as a regular guest beyond this. I mean, she's doing us a solid on this, but I think we have a lot of fun. So if you guys,
We do.
if you guys would like to have her on more, just mention it on the Twitch. And especially if we get this third day, I said, a couple people reached out over the weekend. I'm talking to 2 more potential guys that would fund it.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
And if we do and we go to Wednesday, I kind of like Wednesday to be comedy day. And even I've talked about this, have some of her, some of the people on her shows on, but I kind of like her as the regular guest for a while anyway. And she can talk about them. So anyway,
Yeah. Well, hey, and I was thinking, if I start coming on the show regularly, I think I'm going to have to do a regular thing, and that is going to be ask Fred a question. I'm going to ask you a question that you do not want me to ask you. Every week it'll be a different
do you
one.
already have in mind? You already have one in mind to start off with?
No, I don't have one loaded, but I have some things percolating. So it's
Oh.
we have to we'll have to see. It's and I have to do some research first, because I'm not the sports person, so I don't have like 15 years of listening to the shows that you were on, the Blitz, right?
Yeah.
That was one of them. So I don't have that 15 years. So I have new things I need to get to know about you.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you the painful question.
Oh, and the people know I'll answer anything. So.
I know you will. I know you'll. Oh, especially if you're on air, you will not deny the people the knowledge.
Oh, no. Okay. Wait a minute. So it's king of all Twitches, not witches. Sorry, King. You're still the king. But yeah, everybody loves this idea. They love the idea of, so how about this? We'll do next Monday, and we'll recap what happened Saturday night, and you can ask your first question.
Yeah.
You up for that?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Cool.
So excited.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shocker, we went a little over with her, but
oh no,
that's all right. That's all me. I mean, time flies when you and I get to. It's just like when we hang out. It's the same shit, Just go back and forth.
I know we have to go back to Cabos sometime and
Cobos.
Eat more of that Cobos. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Cobos. That was that
was
good mac and
This
cheese.
was like last Wednesday. We went to Cobos. It was because she had a show at Secret Group, so it was just kind of very convenient. And I got to be honest, man. And I told her this at the time. This was the first day that I really missed East Downtown. Because I was there with Kobo, and he and I are just hugging and chopping it up like we always do, and doing shots, and and that used to be like twice a week, right? I'd go over there and we'd just sit there all afternoon and do shots together, and he'd bring out food that he was testing, and and that was the first time I'm kind of like, God damn, I miss being over here all the time. So so I promise I'm gonna try to get there at least once a week, and like I said, it works out great if you got a show over there, and we can always hang out for a little bit beforehand. But he's a great guy, and just shout out to Kobo's. Great place to go before your Astros games. And Eva can attest to all this, because I told her all this too. Guys doesn't have a bad dish on the menu, and
oh no, it's good food.
And
good food, good time.
Plus
and people can go there and find you, and that's always a good time.
Yeah,
We got to work on getting you some stalkers. That's what we need. What you need in your life. You need a good
Problem
stalker.
is that none of the stalkers are hot, right? You know.
I don't know. I don't know. I've seen some hot stalkers. Maybe I've stalked people before. I mean, mostly just online, but you know.
All right, Eva. Well, thanks so much for coming on. Let's do this again in
Bye,
a
babe.
week. And I will.
Sounds
If
good.
I don't see you before Saturday, I will definitely see you then.
Sounds good. All right. We'll talk to you later, babe. Bye.
Take care. Okay, guys. I have to tell you about Lanham Industries. Andrew was on the Twitch earlier, and guys, this is if you want to get a place in Lake Livingston, or you already have a place in Lake Livingston, this is a place to go. They can help you find the right home and location, decor and theme, price points. And yeah, as soon as this book deal's done, I'm going to be calling them and saying, hey, I want a place on the lake. And if you already have a place, they've got every home service need you could possibly want: cleaning, lawn care, laundry, maintenance, inventory management, property management services available as well. So that's what I'm going to need. So when I get mine, I'm going to have them do all that. Highly trained, dedicated crew, veteran owned and operated, which is really important. They get consistent 5-star ratings from guests and owners. And guys, listen, Andrew's a great guy. Wanted to support the show, support his businesses. If you're out in the Lake Livingston area, please do. You can give them a call. The numbers are 936-581-6166 or 346-773-9577. Or just go online to lanhamindustries.com and he will take care of you. So, a couple things left to get to today. But yeah, I mean, I hope you guys like Eva because she's very, very funny. She's very smart. And I'm hoping that she'll be a regular. And somebody was asking about the axes in the background there. So I have 3 guitars left. I have a 64 Telecaster kit guitar that I put together. So it's like parts from a bunch of other Telecasters. I've got a 1980 Ibanez that I just bought recently. And of course, I have my 1976 Les Paul Standard, which you will see live at the Phoenix on Saturday. And, you know, I bought the Ibanez because I don't know if you guys know this, but AJ's son is like totally into 80s rock guitar. And so the last time I went out to Vegas, I had this Charvel, which is a great guitar for a 17-year-old, not so much for a 58-year-old. So I gave it to his son and decided I need a third one. So that's why I bought the Ibanez. And the Ibanez is actually faster, and I'm only doing a solo at this show, so I might bring that instead. But I haven't decided yet. Tomorrow's my day to sort through the solo and work on all that. But yeah, I'd really like to get Eva on as a regular guest. You know, she's very funny, and you know, she's not afraid to talk about stuff. I got to tell you about Lawyer Dave. I was hoping Lawyer Dave could pop on today. Saw him Saturday night. He's the guy you need if you have any legal problems. He does personal injury. So if you've been hurt at work or you've been in a car accident, and guess what? You live in Houston, you're in a car accident, Lawyer Dave will take care of you. All you have to do is give him a call, 713-626-8900. 713-626-8900. And Lawyer Dave will take your call. And if he doesn't think you have a case, he'll tell you, hey, sorry, I don't think I can help you. If he does think you have a case and he takes it on, you don't pay him a dime. He'll even get you to a doctor and get you checked out. That's what he does. And if you win, he wins. And if he doesn't do the kind of law that you need, he's got people he can refer you to. So just give him a call. Great guy. He won't be there Saturday night because he's in Vegas, which you know, breaks my heart a little. But he's easy to find, and he's so good at his job. And we're working on a podcast with him. 713-626-8900 is the number if you want to get in with Lawyer Dave. Okay, a couple things before we get to final thoughts. Captain Pope says, need Jerome Solomon. I haven't reached out to Jerome, but he'll do it. You know, I think Jerome and I always have a lot of fun on this show, on any show. So yeah, you know, it's funny. It's like there's people that I haven't reached out to for a while because I've been working on stuff. Jerome and I usually, you know, we might go 3 months without talking, and then we talk every day for a week. So I'll definitely get Jerome on. And if you guys have some other suggestions, please feel free. Right now, pretty full on guests because we're only doing the 2 days a week. But like I said, if I can get one more advertiser and start that third day, then we're going to be in a really good spot to have a bunch of people on. And there's a lot of guys like Trey I want to have on, and Jong, and Aaron, and people like that. So if you got some guys that you really like that we haven't had on yet, just hit me up. The email, thefalconcast@yahoo.com. Don't send it to just Falconcast. I don't know where that goes. Rahil would be good. Yeah, that's a good idea. I wouldn't mind getting Paulie Galan on too. I mean, he's a lot of fun. He and I have done some great shows together on the national network. So, yeah. And okay, I hope you like the background today because it's half music and half my bike hat or bike helmet. But yeah, I tried to set it up so at least there was something interesting in the background besides the wall. So, yeah, man, just one more sponsor, man. That's it. One more major sponsor. I my 3 premium sponsors, as you know, Dr. Linville, Lawyer Dave, and the Phoenix. I can get one more of those. We can go to Wednesday, and I would say the show is safe through at least the end of the year and probably beyond if I get to that point. And I'd like to keep this going. It's really been fun, and yeah, I'll get Beth on. I've already talked to Beth. Actually, I talked to Beth and Tina about her and Aaron and the 3 of them doing a reunion podcast on my podcast. That'd be kind of fun. So we got a lot of fun stuff planned. It's just right now, especially as we get into sports, Mondays and Thursdays are going to be pretty full. So that's why I need to get that Wednesday show, because that can be the off the wall show, right? Completely different stuff. Because right now, and just, full disclosure, I'm trying to balance it with sports. Like we have Joe to talk sports. And then, like last week we did Joe, we did sports, and then we did music, and then we did comedy. And I really like the comedy aspect. I think, that's why guys like Barry and John Westling were so great on radio and deserve to still be on radio, by the way, in my opinion. They're just fantastic comedians. And I think Eva has a brilliant future at podcasting or, broadcasting at some point. Flimsy Cherry mentioned Holly. I haven't talked to Holly in a while. A few months ago, I guess, the last time I talked to her. But I'd like to get OJ on. And, yeah, so this has been a lot of fun to get the show going on. Please keep telling your friends that don't have Twitter and Facebook. All right, we're going to do our final thoughts. And as you know, these are just dumb, weird stories. And I like to try to theme them, right? So the theme today is bad neighbor. And I'm fortunate. My neighbors are really cool. One of them's my landlord, obviously. And the neighbor next to me, and I joke with her about being the hottest 74-year-old. She looks like 50. And she's just the sweetest woman, and she's all the time bringing me food over and stuff. And it's really, and neighbors across the street, one of them's in a band. Just cool people. Here's what they wouldn't do. Throw dog poop into your yard. Apparently this happened. A neighbor basically took his own dog turds and dumped them over the fence into his neighbor's garden. Now, the whole dog turd thing is, we've talked about this on the Blitz. This is a touchy subject. You pick up after your dog. It's real simple. Put it in a bag, throw it in the trash, right? Nope, not this guy. And so the guy tries to smooth it over and goes next door and gave him some fresh eggs. Which, okay, that seems like a nice peace offering. The guy said he won't do it again. And, of course, he did it. And he finally said, all right, this is enough. And, after the guy finally quits putting in his yard, but then he just puts it in the street in front of his gate. And, come on. How hard is it to pick it up and throw it away? And so he goes and said, don't put it in the road. He goes, where do you want me to put it? I'm not putting it on someone else's property anymore. And he's just, I don't want to see it when I drive. It just turned into this whole neighbor war. And I'm sorry, it's simple. Just throw the shit away. Literally. Come on, man. I don't know. All right, let's go to the last one today, which is all right. This is another kind of pet peeve, right? Let's say you live in a neighborhood and your neighbor has you have a parking lot, or not a parking lot, but a nice strip, right? And you come home and your strip is filled not just with your neighbor's car, but two other cars. Apparently, they were going to some concert, and she said, "Oh no, it's okay to park here." So you can't even park in your own uh, garage because you can't get in because it's just one lane basically. Unless you're going to drive through your yard and tear that up. But yeah, and so of course you confronted her about it, and she apologized. But then 2 weeks later, they were going to another event nearby, and guess what? All those cars were in her parking lot again. That is okay. I got to say that's a dick move. I mean, if you're going to park in if you want to use it, ask them, right? Just say, hey, if you're going to be in and out, then how about we not do this? I guess movies are made out of crap like this, literally. All right, guys, fun show. Appreciate all the input. We will definitely be having Eva on as a regular guest, and and all the suggestions you guys have made, I'll be working on those people. And like I said, we just got to get that Wednesday show going, and that'll open things up. That whole show can just be cool guests, right, and different stuff. So thank you all. I appreciate every one of you guys for coming in today. All the regulars, man, you guys are the best. We're going to keep it going for you the best we can, and I hope to see some of you Saturday night. Please come out. I've got like I said, I'll have an area roped off. It'll be friends, family, and wannabe girlfriends, which means zero. But there should be some room, and if any of the Falconcasters want to come out, please do. All right, that's going to wrap it up. So until Thursday, when AJ returns, stay sportsy, Gulf Coast badasses.